We are live. It
All
says
right.
we're streaming live now. Hi everybody.
All right. How you doing? How was your week? Have
My week
what's been
has
going on?
truly been a week.
Keeping you
Every
busy?
day is a great day. Yes. Been very, very busy helping several clients, educating clients, which is very important. I think it's great not just to tell clients what to do, but to tell them why they're doing certain things so
Right.
that the process can go smoothly and that they're knowledgeable.
I could dig that. I could dig that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So it takes time.
I could dig
That's
that.
all good.
So guess what? I have Facebook open on my tablet,
Yay!
but it's like a delay.
Yes, there
So
is a delay.
okay. So and I got the sound off, so that way it won't distract me.
Okay, me
So
too.
so
So if there's questions that come up, I'll read them.
cool. Fantastic. Fantastic. So today, everyone, I don't have a story to read to you. I'm coming at you straight because I think as investors, we're not getting a fair shake. Now, what does that mean that we're not getting a fair shake? That means we're letting other people tell our stories about what we do. The commercial industry field is big. And a lot of times when you look at some of these buildings, apartment buildings, you wonder and you ask yourself who owns them. Well, some of the big office buildings in our city, yeah, they may be owned by wealthy people, but a lot of these apartment buildings are not owned by a lot of big guru wealthy people. They are owned by people like us, and
Mhm.
we are getting a bad rap. The tenants think that those buildings are owned by rich wealthy people that can afford to give them a break on rent, that can afford not to pay rent. We are letting other people tell our story of who we are and what we do and why we do what we do. Why is it that we invest in real estate? What made us get into real estate? It's time for us to take the story and take the lead on the story. If we continue to let other people tell our story, it's not going to be the story that we're going to want to hear. That we're greedy. All we want to do is just take the building and jack up the rents. I've heard it, believe me. Even from family members, I've heard that story. All they're gonna do is come in and just jack up the rents, and they think that it's other people that don't look like me. But I'm telling you, all those that are watching this, people that own these buildings, they are not as rich as you think they are. They're trying to make it. They bought the building because they have a desire to make a place beautiful, and we know that people need a place to live. So we want it to be decent. We want it to give you a place that's safe, that's warm in the winter, and cool in the summer. That's what we want to do. When we have to ask you to pay your rent or evict you, it's not because we want to just throw you out. We would rather have you to stay. But the mortgage guy is not going to give us a break. The electric company is not going to give us a break. The gas company is not going to give us a break. The city, state, local municipalities, they're not giving us a break when they raise our taxes, when the insurance goes up. So I'm saying to you, stop thinking that it's some rich white guy that owns these buildings. Because a lot of times it's not. And when you hold back your rent or think that you are really hurting us, yeah, you are. You are hurting us. And you're putting us in a bad spot to where we have to act off of your reaction. So today I didn't want to read something. I wanted to come out and say to the investors that are out there, It's time for us to take the story. It's time for us to take the lead on the story and let the people know that we are here and who we are, and that we're not out to try to rip you off or hurt you or just get over. We are here because we're running a business and we have to make this business be successful. That's all I want to say. Okay? That's all I want to say. To all investors, let's take the lead and tell our story, because those that are telling our story, they're not telling it right. That's what I want to say. Alicia, what you have?
That's awesome, Daryl. I feel the same way. You know, everyone comes up and is taught one thing and they believe one thing. But what we found is when we get older, there's something about that old wives' tale that, you know, if you get sick, all you need to do is put some butter on it, you know.
Right.
My pastor has a whole bunch of stories that he shares with us. And it's not always like that. And a point that you made was, and I wrote it down, you said that the tenants are hurting the landlords. And I like to add on to that, yeah, they are hurting the landlords, or they could potentially, you know, because there might be some ways that we have some contingency funds, you know, in place. But if everyone does it at the same time, that does hurt the landlord. But also, it's also hurting you as a tenant, you know. There are some tenants that want to be lifelong tenants. Those we love because that's lifelong relationships that we can make, you know,
That's
and there's
right.
also lifelong income we can make. And it's also why we got into the business, for us to be able to wealth build, not just for us, but for our kids. But we are in the position to also help tenants. You know, when you pay your rent on time, we're able to report and say that you pay your rent on time, you know, so that helps your credit. And then you can be into better position to be able to afford your own home, whether it's a single family home, whether you'd like to get into the business with us because we love, you know, investors. Our goal is to share the wealth and not just to keep it.
That's
You know,
right.
we're in this business to teach people and not just to keep it all to ourselves. You know, our tenants can learn how they can own buildings, but you got to have the mindset of not just thinking about yourself.
Exactly.
You have to have the mindset of community and the people that are in your community. That's who we're trying to develop as well. So that's my input. But you started this off. They need to know our story. So what's
Right.
your story, Daryl? Why did you get into this business?
I got into this business for my family, and a lot of people that know me, they always hear me say, I'm doing this not for me, but for my family to come. And if those who know me out there, they know I'm going on 60, and I don't have any grandkids, but I know that eventually I'm going to have grandkids,
Right.
right? So my goal is to get, to get financially, to put myself and my family in a financial position of freedom. But I am going to benefit off of it. Don't think that I'm not. Until them grandkids get here, or whoever get here, until the day I die, somebody, yeah, I'm going to benefit from it. But everything that I'm doing is for my grandkids to come.
Right.
That's why I'm doing this. Also, why am I doing this? Because I also teach this. I teach how to invest in commercial multifamily. So I'm doing this, one, educate others, two, to build a legacy for my family. You hit it on the head when you said that if the tenants wanted to even possibly learn how to do it. Listen, if you want to learn how to do it, all you got to do is ask. Don't be afraid to ask. How can I do what you're doing? How can I get into that path like you. Believe me, it's not difficult. How many of you have a phone like this? All you have to do is Google how to invest in commercial multifamily. What book? And I'm telling you, a boatload of books will come up. Google, Amazon, go to the library, read them for free. This is not a secret. This is not a mystery. This is something that anyone can get into. I said anyone. All you have to have is the determination and the persistence to do it. Are you willing to put the time, the effort, and the work in? Yeah, you got to work and you got to put the time in.
Yes, you
All
do.
right. Yeah, it's not going to just come to you. You know, you can't just sit on the couch and say, oh, God's going to give it to me. Yeah, he's going to give it to you, but you got to show him that you want it first. He will give it to you, but you got to show him that you want it. So, Alicia, why are you into this?
I'm into this twofold, right? So just like you, my husband and I saw that we've come to a crossroads of, okay, what are we really doing in our life? Are we just going to continue to work for others and make others rich? Or are we going to wealth build, right? And what does wealth building mean? What does it really mean? Because a lot of people use it as a cliche. You got to wealth build, you got to wealth build. That means that, you can be richer or you can do certain things with your money. But that, to me, is not what it means. It means leaving a legacy for your family. Just like Daryl said, I have young children and I really want them to learn how to do this business because it's not just teaching your children how to take care of themselves, but how are they going to financially have wealth and funds that are working for them and using it as a tool. Money is a tool. And I learned that, I'll probably be bringing my pastor up in a lot of these things. And that's because he's provided us with wisdom. But you take that wisdom that you learn and you're passing it down to your children who prayerfully they will pass it down to their children. And then that's how you make the chain, and that's how you create that generational wealth.
Exactly.
And so that's the one facet that we have. The other is my husband and I, we've worked with troubled youth since we were young, and I've always said that kids don't ask to come into this world, at least to my knowledge, right? Uh, we want them. We have all these thoughts to give them a really good life. Things happen, stuff falls by the wayside, and our focus shifts. But we always have to remember to come back around and to bring someone else up. And so we saw that there's a need that children don't know how to budget, especially those that are in certain behavioral health settings, to where maybe they were adopted and the adoptive family just wants a check, and are not really teaching them anything. And then once they're 18, they're off on their own and they have no idea how to care for themselves. They have no idea how to make money. They have no idea how to budget. And so it's up to us for this generation to teach them how to do that and to give them a safe place to do that. And so we want to own our multifamily buildings and set aside a few of them for community purposes so that there is a safe haven so that these young folks can go to. They can work at the facility. There will be resources there that will teach them how to have life skills, but to also employ them so that they're making their own money and showing them how to invest it and how they can watch it grow and how they can teach someone else to do it. Because to me, that's how you create a healthy community. And then, we have a passion for veterans. I love veterans. They've sacrificed everything, and so have their families. But too many times we see veterans on the street, and it breaks my heart that, we're driving by a corner and you see, hey, I'm a vet. I have some mental challenges. All I want is to eat, We've given food, we've taken them to eat because that's how I was brought up. But it shouldn't be that way. They've sacrificed so much for us. If they're willing and if it's something they want to do, then we want to have a safe place for them to lay their head. Could be temporary, these are temporary settings to help them transition to own their own real estate and their own better. It's not just giving to others, which we love to do. Sometimes I do that way more than I should, but it's teaching them how to do it on their own so that they can transition out and make room for someone else to learn in that same process. And so that's my why. That's why, my husband and I have gotten into this business.
Right.
We'd love to link up with some partners that, are wanting to do that as well so that we can build a community and grow it. It's not just multifamily because we also plan on owning some shopping centers because, once they graduate out of the living quarters, they're going to need to have somewhere to work. And why not have them work in the community, right? Keep it there. We can grow a large community and a large, healthy people because, like you said, it's about a relationship.
That's right.
So that's why we're into it.
Well, something you said a lot. You really said it, especially about the um, the stores in the communities. People, let me tell you something. A lot of these small strip stores in the community, they're owned by people like us. People
Yeah.
that have worked from the bottom to work their way up, saved up what they had to do, went to school or classes, put out money to learn how to invest and purchase these buildings. And I'm telling you that what we're doing is not difficult.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's going to take time and it's going to take your energy and all of that, but you can do it. All right, you can do it. So I'm asking all of you, if this is something that you want to learn, start looking. Pick up that phone or pick up your tablet, go on your computer and Google. All you got to do is Google how to invest in commercial multifamily, or just type in commercial multifamily and see what comes up. There's probably meetup groups, YouTube groups, Zoom calls that you could go on for free, not charging you a dime. You can meet other people. It's all about your network. You know that saying, right? Your network is your net worth. That's what it's about. So listen, I'm here. If you have questions or anything, I'm more than willing to help. I'm more than willing to help answer a question. So, Alicia, are you willing to help?
I am willing to help.
You got two people that said they're willing to help. Two. What more can you
Yeah.
ask for? But you got to start first. Listen, we're not going to just keep helping you and you think we're going to give you everything. No, I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is what I tell everyone that comes to my class. You're going to work. I'm going to put you to work. And I'm gonna know if you're serious. You know how I'm gonna know? After when I start putting you to work, you ain't gonna come back. And the thing is, the stuff that I'm telling you to do, it's not difficult to do. I may
Right.
tell you to search out a market to find what's the cap rate. I may say to you, um, call a broker.
Call a property manager.
I may say call a property manager. I'm gonna tell you what to say and stuff like that. But if you don't want to do that, if you say to me, "Well, I can't do that," I'm not, man. when you're ready, come back. Okay, when you're ready, come back, because you got to
Mhm.
get out of that comfort zone. I used to I used to think, not when I was a kid, because when I was a kid I wasn't thinking about no commercial multifamily, right? But as I got older, I would wonder, like when I started hearing and started reading certain books, I was like, wow, I wonder who owned this building. I wonder who owned that building. And then I started saying, why can't I own this building? Why can't I own that building? I never once said I can't do it. I said, how can I do it?
That's right.
So you have to stop saying I can't and say I can. I am able to do it. Not I am not able to do it. All right. It's a mind thing. Stop listening to people who have not done it before. You know how you go to your friend and you tell him, man, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna look at getting into real estate, and he say, man, you nuts. You ain't gonna do that. See, that's somebody who never done it. So why are you gonna go tell him that you're gonna do it and he's never done it? Now go to someone who's doing it and say that to them and see what they say. Well, come on, man, let's go to, we got a meeting every so and so, so and so. That's what they're gonna say. So if you want to do this, get around those who are doing it. Go to the meetups. They are on Facebook. In your area, in your city, state, local area, look for RIA groups, Real Estate Investors Associations. You may have to
Mhm.
pay $5 to get in because you're not a member, or you may have to pay $10 to get in, or whatever. But believe me, it's a $5 or $10 worth spending. Because when you leave there, I guarantee you're gonna be pumped up. You're gonna say, "Wow, I thought I couldn't do it."
Right.
Okay, that's your first start. Okay, get books, read them. You're going to pay for your books, but just think, if you was in college, you would wind up paying 10 times that much for them books. Okay, because I'm telling you right now, I know them books in college are $200-300. Right
Yes.
now, you're going to Amazon getting a book for probably $10. All right, so listen, you can do it, but the main thing, Alicia, is that we got to start telling the story,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people out here that think we are a bunch of trillionaires
Right.
that's owning these apartment complexes. And what they don't know, it may be the guy next door.
Exactly. The guy that's living right there in the apartment complex with them.
Yep,
you know.
could be.
So
So, Alicia, that's all I wanted to say.
that was awesome, Daryl.
That's what I wanted to say.
I'm glad everyone was able to join us today. How
Well,
often are we here?
we're here every Friday at 5 o'clock. Sometimes, what time is it now? Yeah,
That's
we usually,
Eastern Standard Time.
yeah, Eastern. That's right, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we usually run about 30 minutes.
Mhm.
To I usually read a story from either Globe Street or whatever the latest. But today, people, just sort of made me wanna say a little something. That's all. I just wanted to say a little something.
Yeah,
So
and I just add to that. We always pop on and we always give knowledge, right?
yeah,
Statistics, we talk about what's going on in the environment. If you have questions, if you're watching this and you have questions about how you can get in, drop a little chat line, let us know.
right, exactly.
Send us a messenger, let us know. If you are currently in a deal and you have some questions about that deal, ask those questions. You really should be hiring a qualified real estate agent. However, if you're stuck somewhere, we do have resources and information, history, education, and experience. So just reach out.
So, Alicia, now tell everybody what market you're in.
I am in the Arizona market.
Right.
So the market that I focus in inside of Arizona is the
Right.
Phoenix metro market.
Right.
If you're familiar with Arizona, that consists of both the East and West valleys,
Okay.
which are really growing. They've been booming. Um, even though interest rates have been low, uh, the pricing has gone up. And, we always get this question, is it a good time to buy? Well, prices are good right
Absolutely right.
now. So I would say I would buy right now.
Right.
I don't know your situation, but if you can afford to, most investors are investing before the end of the year and closing before the end of the year. So,
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
reach out. That's what I would say. And
So,
you can reach me.
right.
I know that's your next question.
That's just what I was going to say.
You can reach me by either, sending me a chat on any of the social media platforms, or you can call me at 480
Mm-hmm.
712
Mm-hmm.
8890. And
Fantastic.
you'll get me at that number.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And if anyone want to get in contact with me, I'm here on Facebook. You can easily uh, DM me, or you can just post a question right below. If you're watching this from YouTube, you could post a question on YouTube, and I am asking everyone that's watching or that will be watching, would you please go to YouTube, subscribe, and that way you can also stay up to date. Next week I will go back and read the latest story. All right. Um, to keep everyone up to date on the news. But I did post a couple of some really good articles that you may want to check out. So, Alicia, hang on. I'm going to stop, but I want just hang on for me because I just want to talk with you about one thing, and then after that, let's have a fantastic weekend. I'm getting a lot of
Yeah.
work done here around my property, so you know I gotta stay busy.
Yes, absolutely.
Gotta stay busy.
All right, everyone.
All right, everyone. See you later. And if,
Have a
like I
great
said, if you have any questions, please post them below. All right, take it easy. Hold on, I gotta stop sharing, Alicia. I'm used to